What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the history of boxing, how it started, and where it evolved from. So stay tuned, and let's begin. Boxing is one of the most popular combat sports in the world. It's extremely popular in countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, and many others. And it has been gaining popularity in the recent years, with events like the Olympics and some other major events that have included boxing as one of the main sports. But what many people do unknow is that boxing has a very rich history, and its origins can be traced back thousands of years. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about in today's episode. How did boxing start, and how did it evolve throughout the years? So without further ado, let's get into it. The earliest evidence of boxing-like activities dates back to ancient Egypt. In 18th dynasty tombs from around 1500 BC, images of men engaging in what appears to be a form of boxing have been found. These early forms of boxing were not much like modern boxing, however, as they were more of a combination of wrestling and hand fighting. During the time of the pharaohs, boxing was considered a necessary part of military training. It was believed that a good boxer could fight off multiple opponents at once. There are also some records of boxing from ancient Greece, but it was until the 668 BC that we see some records of actual boxing matches during the Olympic Games. The ancient Greek and Roman boxing was a brutal affair with no rules or weight classes. The fights could go on for as long as the two fighters wanted, or until one of them was knocked out, or could not continue anymore. Unlike the Egyptian boxing, the Greeks took it to another level by introducing the concept of winning by knockout. This led to the development of techniques such as the hook and the uppercut, which are still used today. The ancient Greek and Roman boxers wore leather straps around their hands and were allowed to hit their opponents with the full force of their body weight behind them. This led to many broken bones and even deaths. As a result, boxing was eventually banned in both Greece and Rome. In the Middle Ages, boxing was practiced in Europe and Asia, but it was still illegal and underground. However, in the 1700s, it began to emerge as a legitimate sport in England. The first documented bare-knuckle boxing match took place in England in 1743. Between two butchers named Jack Broughton and James Figg, Broughton won the fight in 12 rounds. This led to the establishment of the London prize ring rules in 1743, which is considered to be the beginning of modern boxing. These rules were created by Jack Broughton himself, and they established some basic guidelines for the sport, such as the use of gloves and the prohibition of biting and gouging out eyes. During the 18th and 19th centuries, boxing became very popular in England, and it was even mentioned in literature classics such as Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist. It was during this time that some of the most famous bare-knuckle boxers fought, including Tom Cribb, who was known as the British Napoleon. The first world heavyweight champion, John L. Sullivan, was also a bare-knuckle boxer. He defended his title in 1882 against Jake Kilrain in an all-Irish bare-knuckle fight that lasted 75 rounds over 2 days. The fight ended when Kilrain's manager threw in the sponge. In the early 1900s, boxing began to change. Queensberry rules, which had been developed in the late 1800s in England, were adopted in 1904. These rules are still used in boxing today. They established the 3-minute round, the use of boxing gloves, and the requirement for a knockout, or a technical knockout, to win a fight. With the introduction of these new rules, boxing became a more technical and scientific sport. Fighters began to focus on things such as footwork and defense, and the days of the brawlers were over. So that's basically how boxing started. From its humble beginnings in ancient Egypt to its current status as a major combat sport, boxing has come a long way. And although it may never return to the brutal sport that it once was, it is still one of the most exciting and popular combat sports in the world. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching.